Alright guys, it's your boy BrandoAKAMiracle showing off our Stardust adventure list. Starting off with Small World, I was trying to bait out anything, looks like it didn't work, but I'm going to search for a Gamma anyway just to make sure I get all of my other stuff. We get the Revolution Synchron off the tuning, and we get the right to get our adventure Synchron. Next up, we're going to use Faithful Adventure to get the Griffin Rider. We're going to have to pitch the Small World to do that though. And Wandering Griffin Rider, Revolution, gonna go into a Baron Defure. With Baron here, pretty much can guarantee us our Junk Speeder is going to resolve. We get the Draco back. It's pretty much a free card. If you were playing this on PC, I think I was recording this on mobile because I had some extra time. You could use the Faithful Adventure as like a chain block, but it's a lot harder to do on mobile. I still have to figure it out. But we get our monsters that we're going to need for the combo 1, 2, 4, and 5. That's always going to be your searches, especially because Baron is always going to be in that extra slot. If not, hey, just search a Revolution if you have the space. Draw for turn, we do get a Called by the Grave, not too bad. And Excel Synchro is going to get us another monster as well as use its effect to have Stardust name on, have a Stardust name on the board to receive the trail. Ouch. Hyper Librarian is going to be the synchro of choice here. Just real quick, with Hyper Librarian, you can use all of these combo pieces to continue going off for a lot of time and get a lot of free searches. We get Crimson Dragon here, and Crimson Dragon will get us to draw 2, as well as get us a search for a spell. Now, you don't necessarily have to summon the trail off of this effect. I just did it to do it because I can use the Stardust Illumination to give us access to a level 1 increase, so I can use it to get out a monster. So we use Illumination to increase the trail to make it a 5, so we can use Wheel and Trail into a Bestial Dispatter. Now we're in a really good spot here with all of the monsters we do have on board, but we're going to grab Synchro Rumble to now get rid of the Hyper Librarian to get us our Side-Frame Omega. Now Side-Frame Omega, we're going to take our first card out of our opponent's hand, use it to bring it back, and get it to be on board so we can also have that Jet Synchron on board ready to go. Now we're going to use this to tribute off to then get our pieces on board. We're going to use Bestial Dispatter as our target for the Crimson Dragon, converting it into 9. And we're going to have Crimson Dragon on the board for another 12 Onslaught, just in case for our next turn. Now this is full combo. I did it a little unorthodox, but this is still the board you're going to come up with every single time. As soon as we can, we're going to recycle that Assault, and then after that, our opponent can destroy all of these, that's fine, but I'm also going to take a card out of my opponent's hand. We take Fairy Tale Snow, not too bad, an annoying card to deal with. My opponent reveals he is on tier, sending the Anesti, milling 3, doesn't hit any mills, and then surrenders. Alright, going first here, not a bad hand at all. Tuning plus Revolution is full combo. With a Reborn Tengu, you just need at least one level 4 monster, and it's preferable for right, but Reborn Tengu works really well, as you can see very soon. Using Reborn Tengu and shooting Riser Dragon, will be able to get out a 10 of choice. Now my opponent attempts to use Maxi, but we did open up 2 pieces of hand trap from removal. This deck is very good at having that exact ratios where you do get the cards you need. Now sending Jet, the reason why we sent Jet is to make sure that Reborn and shooting Riser Dragon equal out to 10, which will get you a Baron Defure. Next up, Revolution is going to bring itself back, as well as the last Reborn Tengu is going to be on the board. Could have also activated Faithful Adventure to have an Ash kind of workaround, but it won't matter. Junk Speeder, we're going to bring back 1, 2, 4, and 5. That is pretty much traditional in every situation. Jet, and Junk Speeder are going to start the combo off. There's options and monsters to choose from. I always go with Stardust Charge Warrior. I just like the additional card, so I don't have to play additional slots for the Living Fossil due to the Power Tool Dragon effect. Jet, we're going to use Jet to get us out future Hyper Librarian, but won't matter. We're going to use Stardust Dragon and our Crimson Dragon to get them out. Now, I did misplay. I kind of rushed into the Crimson Dragon play. It ended up won't mattering. Or no, I didn't. I forget Assault Synchron brings it back. But either way, it doesn't matter necessarily. And we never got the spell. We must have milled it. Yeah, we did. We milled it. So this is kind of different than normal, but we'll work it out. Get the Draco back, search, draw to get the Water Enchantress into hand. We're gonna normal summon it additionally. So now we have access to a level 8 in that. We're gonna use Water Enchantress and our Wheel Synchron to go into the Omega. Omega's gonna come out. We're also gonna draw a card, and we're gonna tribute off Omega for the first time to see my opponent is on Fire Kings. Synchro Rumble, gonna bring back our Jet Synchron using the Illumination we did pitch earlier. We were still gonna be able to get our Bastille Dispatter out, and we would have been in a really good position. Alright, going first, we activate the Max C in the standby phase. It does resolve. Our opponent is on Snake Eyes. They choose not to go that crazy, but they do get the original Sinful Spoils. They're going to save that for their next turn and set one and pass. We have full combo in hand already, and Water Enchantress just converted it to an even better combo. We're going to get our Water Enchantress search right away, and we're going to be good to go here. Right, and we're going to use Right to get the token, as well as use Faithful Adventure to get us the Wandering Griffin. Now, our opponent reveals the Snake Eyes Poplar. We're going to pitch something to get Wandering Griffin Rider. The pitch is going to be Jet Synchron. Wandering Griffin, our opponent reveals the Max C. We are now officially under the Max C challenge. Now, this is going to be interesting. Can we beat it? We will soon see. Faithful Adventure is going to get that. I'm going to send the trap away. If I don't have to deal with that trap, that's fine. I would rather get rid of the trap than deal with any interruption. Now Revolution's going to come back and have our 5 on the board ready to go. Alright, Junk Speeder is going to attempt to resolve. Look, if we did have that chain block, we wouldn't have had to worry about that Ash, but we do have the Baron, so it's not the biggest deal. So now the Junk Speeder does resolve. Go 1, 2, 4, and 5. And we're also going to get a search off of the Stardust Synchron. Now, if Speeder resolves, Nib is no longer a problem. We can work it out pretty nicely. So I'm pretty much just going to be comboing off until my opponent pretty much tells me to stop. I'm going to go into the normal lines. I'm using Excel and go into Jet Synchron. Now in the extra deck, I'm playing a few turn 2 cards, just in case we do get in situations like this where we want access to board breakers like Psychic and Punisher, and I'm also playing Pack-Bet, which is a really cool Synchro 8 in my opinion. We're going to see Assault Synchron get banished to get us back our Excel. And Crimson Dragon to also get us back Synchro Rumble. Now we're going to get Trail into the rotation right away, of course, as well. We're going to use Illumination to increase Trail's level to get out of 10. And there is the Bastille Dispatter. We're going to use Wheel to level modulate the Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon into 8. And we're going to grab our Psyframe Omega. Now, I pretty much summoned Psyframe Omega here. Honestly, I don't know why I banished this. This is turn 2. But we're going to bring it back nonetheless. Maybe I realized that after the fact. But we're going to use our Jet Synchron Engrave to tribute it off to get out Stardust Warrior, or Stardust Synchron and Stardust Trail. and that will get us another monster in Packbit. Packbit's going to be able to remove one of these monsters so we don't have to deal with them. I pitched the Foolish Burial. We're going to pop the other one, and our final chain is going to be using our Crimson Dragon to bring out one of our 8s. Honestly, this usually isn't our Crimson Dragon target. It's usually used to bring out a Hot Red Dragon Abyss. But we had lethal on board, so our opponent knew and surrendered. Alright, not a bad starting hand. Small World will give us any gateway we need, and Jet Synchron's a perfect one for it. We're going to use the Stardust or Reborn Tengu plays once again to get out our synchros, which is really nice. It is really good for our plays, having 2 options to really go full combo. Shooting Riser Dragon's going to use its effect, and we're going to have to send a level 1 in Jet, so honestly we're going to be locked out of our Jet plays, unfortunately. But that's completely fine. We can probably work around it. And we're going to get Baron to get out Reborn, and Revolution's going to come back due to us controlling a synchro. Junk Speeder is now good to go. That Reborn effect won't do anything. We already went through all 3 Reborn Tengus. Getting Assault, Revolution, and our wheel. See, our Stardust Synchron play was limited, so that's why we used it. Now we're going to pitch the Baron to bring back the Revolution plus Junk Speeder to get out of cell. The reason why we popped the Assault is to give us access to the Tribute plays still, even though we did not have the plays to go into Charge and then Excel. Alright, now we use Crimson Dragon, and Crimson Dragon is going to search as well as get us our Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Now I accidentally played the Crimson Dragon into the wrong place, so this forces me to have to clear out the Crimson Dragon in a sense to get out Bestial Dispatter. Normally this isn't the way I summon Bestial Dispatter, but hey, sometimes when you misplay you have to play through it. We still get all of our other pieces, and we're still in a not too bad of a spot. Using Junk and the Stardust Trail we special summon from hand, we're going to be able to get ourselves out TG Hyper Librarian. Now we're going to normal summon the Ash using Wheel's effect to get us an 8 out in Psyframe Omega. Now Psyframe Omega is going to give us a card as well as get us a draw, and we're going to take out our opponent's Super Polymerization. Next up, we have to think about another play, and Synchro Rumble seems like the best choice here. Using Synchro Rumble and our Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, we're going to be able to have to get ourselves out in 8 again somehow, and I feel like Excel is the best way to do that. Now Wheel is also going to level modulate to decrease it to 9. Not our best board. We'll be able to draw a considerable amount, but Excel is back in the grave, as well as we're going to see our opponent's plays. Now Psyframe Omega, I want to take out a card out of my opponent's hand. That's what I'm going to do. We take out a pretty good spell, and our opponent's going to attempt to resolve or Havness. Now we're going to get rid of that spell to negate the effect of the fusion, and we're going to then target our level 9 going into a Trishula, so we can get rid of the guy on board as well as Havness, as well as 1 card in his hand. Alright, we also draw a card off of that, and then our opponent surrenders right there. Alright, last game, and we were going to be going first. We opened up Foolish Burial, so Water Enchantress is free game. Gonna pitch the Water Enchantress to get the Right, and Right and Revolution are only 2 cards we need in hand right now. We did open up the Reborn Tengu, so we had both access to both ways of getting out our Synchro. Unfortunately, opening up the Wheel Synchron, you never want to see that, but it's not the most striking to our situation. Now Baron's going to come out, special summon the Revolution due to we having Baron on the field, and we're going to use that adventure token to go into the Junk Speeder. Now Junk Speeder is going to resolve even if he has any interactions. You see I was on PC here because then it let me use the Faithful Adventure to block the Junk Speeder resolution. Alright, we're going to get Stardust Synchron to get a Stardust Illumination. Jet plus Junk Speeder is going to go into Stardust Charge Warrior. Stardust Charge Warrior is going to draw us additional card, as well as then we're going to use Assault plus Charge Warrior to get out Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Now having that a second Assault Synchron in hand is pretty versatile, so we'll have a lot of cool plays at our disposal. Now using TG Hyper Librarian to get out further free cards out of our deck. And we're going to use that, for example, because Stardust Dragon counts as a Synchro Summon, and then we're going to go into Crimson Dragon with the Stardust Synchron and Stardust Dragon. And Crimson Dragon will also get us a spell. So this is a +3 just because we summoned our Crimson Dragon and TG Hyper Librarian. Now Assault's also going to trigger bringing back that Excel. It's really good to have on board for Synchro plays. Especially with Assault Synchron being in hand, that will really help us out in a significant way. Stardust Synchron and Ash Blossom. That's the whole reason why we play the TG Hyper Librarian, is to draw into interaction. Now Bystial Dispatcher is going to be able to come out a lot smoother since we drew into that Assault. Tuning isn't really useful, but hey, it's a huge amount of cards in hand. I'm not complaining about card advantage. We're going to use Cyframe Omega to see what kind of deck our opponent is on. Kaijus. That scares me. I now want to take out as many cards out of my opponent's hand as possible. So normally I try to save, but I really am trying to get rid of the reaction. Now I'm curious why he didn't activate that Imperm. Maybe he would have probably trying to save it to bait out the Baron Negate the next turn. But it is what it is. Next up, we're going to use Stardust Synchron and go into Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, bringing back Jet. We're going to pitch the Draco back, and we're going to be able to go into the Hot Red. Now I could go for another card removal before the turn, which I do. So I was curious. I was like, you know, if I'm really trying to get us out many cards out of my opponent's hand, it might be beneficial if I do it before his turn. We take out the Cash Tira spell. Small World is going to recycle us into a Maxi. I thought that was really dirty, but had to do it. So we have Maxi, we have Ash Blossom, and we also had 3 negates on board. GG. Alright guys, so this is the current Stardust Adventure list I've been playing with. Man, this list is so fun to play. One of my favorites still. Showing it a lot on the channel just because of how consistent and how crazy the plays with this deck can be. I really enjoy every single route and how versatile this deck can be, even going second. We're playing a pretty standard list with Stardust with some extra spice with the Reborn Tengu, as well as we're playing Packbit, Psychic, and Punisher. A lot of cards that will benefit us going in that turn 2 situation, because Packbit is really good removal, as well as Psychic and Punisher can win game on its own. So really signature cards this list is Revolution Synchron. This is the best tuner in this deck, being able to versatize into either Baron or using Shooting Riser to get into Baron. Opening up Baron with a card like Junk Speeder, which is like a custom card, summoning up to 5 monsters. That is crazy. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the deck list. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe for the videos, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. See you guys next time.